Hello, my name's Megan, and this is Megan's Read Library. Today I'm going to be coming at you with the Booktube Newbie Book Tag because I am brand spanking new, first YouTube channel and YouTube video ever, so figured I'd start it right with the book tag. Okay, so question number 1. Why did you start a Booktube channel? Because like anybody else with Booktube, I love reading and I want to connect with more people and talk about books. Any books, any recommendations you got, throw them my way. Number 2, what are some fun and unique things that you can bring to Booktube? The name of my channel is Megan's Read Library because Read stands for reading, eating, and drinking. Got my trusty wine to go with it. I am, as well as my love of reading, I love to cook and I love to drink alcohol, wine specifically, and talk about those things. And so one of the things I have caught myself doing is while reading a book, I'll be like, I really need a Cabernet to go with this. Or, oh, pot stickers would go so well with this scene right now. I'm so hungry. Let me go, make some. So, one of the things I thought about doing is doing kind of, episodes where I talk about either a favorite book, a new book I've read, sometimes maybe even a TV show. We'll see how that happens. And doing a dinner, maybe so food, wine, or beer, or a mixed drink, whatever I think would suit best, and then an appropriate meal for that. And that way you could, if you so chose, follow in my example and see how that works for you. And if I will give other recommendations too, say you're not a wine drinker, but I think a wine would go best with it, I might recommend a beer or a mixed drink. So that's kind of one of those things that I thought about doing. Let me know if you're interested and I will do a video of that. What are you most excited about this new channel? Connecting with people and building friendships. I talked to one person, that's Lauren from the novel Lush, fairly regularly. I follow a lot of people and I sometimes comment depending on how comfortable I feel that day. But yeah, just getting connected with the community and building friendships and relationships. Number 4, why do you love reading? Because it's an escape. Basically, it's the best kind of escape. You can enter any world at any time, and a good writer, at least, will transport you, take you out of whatever you're experiencing and bring you somewhere new. Because reading got me through some of the worst ever times in my life, and I started reading out of them. So being able to use this medium to safely and effectively escape, take time away, and a lot of times the books that I would be reading, the characters would be dealing with similar situations and they would work through their problems, and I could by then be like, okay, let me work through this. So it's therapeutic and it's an escape, and it's the best thing I think people can do because there's a book for everybody. Number 5, what book or series got you into reading? And that book is Trickster's Choice. Actually, hold on. That is Trickster's Choice by Tamora Pierce. It's backwards, I know. Sorry. This book is still my favorite. I've read all of her books. And it, in one of the darkest times that I had experienced at that point, it was able to take me out of it and transport me into this medieval fantasy world with this teenage girl who just immediately jumped into all these kinds of problems that were the result of her recklessness and just wanting to prove her parents wrong and stuff like that. And I felt like I was going through a lot of the same stuff. And so me and Allie, the main character, we connected. We became best friends. Okay. So through her book, and then the series, because this is actually like way down on the bottom of the series, I was able to like grow as a teenager and become a better person. And just she introduced me to the wonderful world of reading and all the great freaking things that come out of it. Okay, next question. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I feel like I want to throw up right now, not because of the alcohol. I just really don't do this stuff normally, so I am freaking out. So, sorry if I'm not coherent. How long did it take you to get over it? Are you over it? Does it ever go away? Do you just reach a level of like zen? I don't know. Let me know. And how did you get there? What secrets can you share with me? So, number 7. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? And along with the last question, I think that being comfortable and coherent in front of a camera will be the number 1 challenge. And then number 2, I'm a shift worker, so being able to create videos on a regular schedule, whatever that schedule would be for me, in just doing it consistently, because one of the things that I kind of like worry about the most is I'll do this for like 6 months and then I'll just give up on it because I might find it too hard to fit into my schedule, which I'm not that busy, so don't let me make that excuse. I'm really not. I'm like never that freaking busy. So watch out for me. Number 8, when did you start reading? I started reading at 13 years old. I'd never been a reader before. I liked the idea of reading, but I didn't ever find a book. I think that was the problem. I never found a book that could make me want to like stay in it and to keep reading until Trickster's Choice. I had so many teachers that were like, you have to read this book, we're gonna do a report, or you need to go pick out books and we're gonna do reports and you're gonna stand in front of the class. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. Mom, I'm sick. So yeah, that was my life until I was 13 years old, and then I was reading everything, and the teacher was like, what happened? I found Tamora Pierce. That's what happened. Number 9, where do you read? I have like one chair in my living room, and I pretty much read in that one. But sometimes I'll read in my bed. I don't do it as much as I did when I was a teenager. I'm 25 years old. I can't do that anymore. I will fall asleep. So now I read in my car with audiobooks and like to and from work or for my errands all day. I will also have ebooks, obviously the Nook and Kindle app. And I always have at least one physical book on me if I'm carrying my purse. So like 50% of the time I'm carrying my purse, so I'm carrying at least one book. If I'm not carrying a physical book, I always have my phone, so I always have ebooks and audiobooks. Win-win. Number 10, and the final question, is what kind of books do you like to read? I love to read anything with a fantastical element. So it doesn't matter if it's magical realism. I've only read like 2, maybe 3 of those kinds of books. It doesn't matter. I will read everything with a fantasy spin to it, give it a shot. Primarily, right now, I read urban fantasy, so Patricia Biggs, Mercy Thompson / Alpha and Omega series, the Karen Marie Moning series, the Fever series. I haven't read the last 2 books, so I need to do that. But I also read romance books. Nora Roberts is one of my top 3 favorite romance authors. This woman is crazy. She has like almost 300 books now, and she has written everything that you could think of, with the root being romance. So fantasy romance, historical? I'll have to double check that. I don't think she's actually delved into historical, but but she has written like almost every genre within the overheading romance genre that you can think of. And then she also has her pen name, J.D. Robb, which is a futuristic cop police procedural one, following one main couple the entire series, which is 43 books long now. I've not read all of them. I have all of them. Haven't read all of them yet. It's on my bucket list. And then these books back here are my favorite paranormal romance authors. Oh, and then down in the corner is Tamora Pierce, because she is life. She's my favorite. They write romance stories, so every book a different couple gets together, and then but they each have different series. So Christine Feehan, she's the first romance, this top shelf, Christine Feehan, she's the first paranormal romance author that I ever read, romance author period that I ever read, and she has a vampire spin paranormal series that's at like book 31 or 2 now. I'd have to double check. So I've read almost all of that. I'm like, I haven't read the last 3 books. I haven't had time. Scratch that. I've been lazy and haven't read it. I have time. And and then she also has a kind of witch series. They're not witches, they're not mages. It's based almost all of their series are based in like our current world, as close to our current world as it can be. And it's just awesome. She has Christine Feehan has paranormal military. I love that. I'm in the military. I will not discuss what I do. I will just say I'm in the Air Force. I live in Montana. And yeah, I'm in the Air Force. I live in Montana. That's it. That's all you need to know. Oh. And then she has this shapeshifter series called the I don't remember what she calls it, but it's about jaguars shapeshifting. And Sherilyn Kenyon is the other author on this shelf, and she does her spin on a vampire hunter series, and that's fucking Jesus Christ. It's like in book 45 now, I think. And she says she has a spin-off series, but really they all read together as one huge series. But if you were to like look, it would say like Dark Hunter series and then Were Hunter book 1. It really is in the same series, but she just decides to separate them, but they don't need to be separated. I don't know. But they're really, really good. So those 2 authors were basically the first ones I read in the paranormal romance world, and I read everything. A little bit of everything. So I have some authors that are like my favorite authors, but I have not read all their books. I've only read like 5 books, but I'm just like, it's so amazing! So I also have a ton of books And that's the goal. One of the goals with this channel is to read 100 books this year. 80 of them I want to be books from my own shelves. So the other 20 can be like rereads or borrows from the library or something else like that. I think I'm already failing at that. I'd have to count my Goodreads to find out what I've read, but I have 3 Billy bookcases, well, 4 Billy bookcases. This is my YA bookcase. So what I'm trying to do this year is the majority of them be books I have not read before, with the exception of my audiobooks. Because my audiobooks, the best way I can read or read them is for them to be books that I've already read, with a few exceptions. So the majority of those will be rereads. So I'm not counting those ones per se. My real goal, this is so convoluted, my real goal is 120 books. So 10 books a month. But of 100 of them, scratch that, 80 of them, math is hard, this is why I like reading, 80 of them I want them to be brand new reads. 20 physical rereads is what I'm allowing myself, and 20 audiobooks, whatever, I don't care. So we'll see. By the end of the year, we'll do a count. Yeah, so this got really convoluted, and I'm gonna wrap this up. But this was my Booktube Newbie Book Tag. I hope you learned a little bit about me, learned enough to where you want to subscribe and see what comes next. And comment down below if you are a newbie too, because I know that there's this strike backathon going around, and I really want to support people on that. And let me know, and I will subscribe and watch as much as I can to help you get your hours. I'm not really trying to do that because I'm starting way too late to even get enough content up to get the hours. But I will support you. So let me know. Have a good day. Bye.